Hello all, welcome back to this third lecture of our Linux series. Now in this video, we are going to install CentOS inside our VirtualBox. Now you need to know a little bit about VirtualBox so that you can take the better decisions that whether you wish to use VirtualBox for installing CentOS or you're gonna go for AWS. We are going to explore both of them. You need not to worry about it. But if you are a beginner in Linux, then I would really recommend you to configure everything inside your system so that you can see everything physically, whether it is source code or anything like that. So let's go ahead and get started with this video. So first of all, VirtualBox was introduced by Oracle. The reason why I'm using VirtualBox quite a lot because it is keeping cross-platform approach, which means the output that you get after configuring CentOS in VirtualBox, you get .vbox file or something like that. You can make that file compatible inside your Windows as well, Macintosh as well, Solaris or Linux. So this cross-platform approach is really wonderful in VirtualBox. Next up is that you need to understand the layer of VirtualBox, that how it actually works. So in order to understand that, I've made a very quick graph so that you can grab the knowledge regarding it. So first of all, you know that there are different layers. We already had a discussion about it into my earlier videos, that first of all, you have your central processing unit. Once you have your central processing unit, you put your primary operating system on that layer so that you can run your operating system and can do all kind of operations regarding your daily life. But now we need Windows as well, or you can say you need your macOS as well, because in macOS you cannot replace their operating system. You gotta have to go for some other virtualization options in order to bring CentOS inside your machine. So you use virtualization technique. So this is the layer where we are going to work in this video. So into the virtualization, what happens is that VirtualBox is going to be our virtual client in this case. Now, VirtualBox is going to configure your operating system. And this is how the VirtualBox technology is working. Don't worry, in upcoming videos, I'll tell you that how things are better and smooth with Docker, with AWS. But in order to understand everything from the perspective of fundamentals, you need to go for this method. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and configure CentOS inside our VirtualBox. So in order to save our time, I have kept everything at one place named as Linux material. I've kept your CentOS ISO here. I've also kept your VirtualBox file for the installation. And you can grab these files very easily from the official website of VirtualBox and CentOS as well. I'll just quickly show it to you over the Google. So here you can see this is my Google engine, and now you can just simply write VirtualBox, and when you'll see this download link is popping up right here, or you can go their official website and you can just visit this page in order to receive this file. These files right here, these files are very necessary. Go ahead and download them before you follow this video. And you can see that it is there for all the platforms like Windows host, macOS, Linux, Solaris. So I have downloaded this file right here, this Windows host file. So this file is right here. Next is CentOS. Now for downloading CentOS, you can again go to the official website of CentOS. Simply go on Google and write CentOS. Now you can directly go on to the download page in order to save your time, or you can take a quick look of their official website as well. Now you have two versions of CentOS here. One is CentOS 7 that is being used by all the corporate standards and everyone is using that for the professional purpose. Next is CentOS Stream. It is not super stable and there are some support issues with it. But then again, this is the latest one. Things are going to get updated, but not for now. People are using CentOS 7 from quite a long time over the corporate standards. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to click on this link right here that says 86_64. When I'm going to click this ISO DVD will be downloaded inside your system, right? You have other options as well that is being mentioned here, cloud, that you can directly configure in AWS. You have containers as well. You have Vagrant as well. Don't worry, we are going to deal with all of them, containers and Vagrant, but these are the things of the future perspective. I'm taking this series on a very basic perspective. I'm assuming that you know nothing about Linux, and I really want you to follow this series in such a way that you know nothing, and now everything you are going to follow over this series. So let's go ahead and get started with the installation of VirtualBox. In this video, first of all, we are going to install VirtualBox inside our system. And little bit of interface is also changed in VirtualBox. So I'm just going to give the permission to say yes. And now our installer is installing VirtualBox. Now you can see, welcome to Oracle VM VirtualBox. I'm just going to click on next. Again, I'm going to click on next, proceed with installation. Yes. Missing dependencies, Python code, I'll look into it later on. But right now I would like to proceed with yes. And I'm going to install my VirtualBox. This will take few seconds of yours, and VirtualBox will be inside your system. And then you can do the virtualization of n number of ISOs and DVDs. You just need the ISO of any operating system and you can configure that inside your VirtualBox. So like you can see that it is rapidly increasing its bar, about to be completed right here. Removing shortcuts, registry files, updating components, writing system registry, copying new files, and within a wink, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1, it's done. Okay, so here you have installed your VirtualBox. One thing done, half of the part is done and configuring your CentOS inside your machine. So now you can see that it is launching my VirtualBox. This is the first interface that you will be looking at on your screens. And here you can see that there are a lot of options. So I'm going to give you a quick introduction about VirtualBox as well. So now you can see that the button that might be fascinating you the most must be new. Yes, that's the button where you are going to configure your new CentOS. Now you need not to do anything with this CentOS. Rest of the things we'll be doing inside our VirtualBox because our DVD is already there and that's all we need to get started. Okay, now here I'm just going to click on new. And you can see that they have changed the interface. It's looking very good now. Let's give it a name to our virtual machine. So I'm going to give it a name of CentOS and ISO. ISO is, I am going to select the ISO right here. So I'm going to click on other so that I can get a prompt for the browse. I'm going to go where my ISO is right there. Here is my CentOS ISO. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to open this ISO. So now it will receive the CentOS ISO. Type is Linux. Reddit 64 is what you need to choose. But now since they have updated everything, you need not to choose that manually. They have already detected that with the help of ISO. So you just need to click on next. And now these are the credentials that you need to take care about. So the host name is going to be CentOS. These are the by default credential that I'm telling you that go ahead and change it later on, but not for now. But make sure you remember this. So the by default credential is change me. So I'm going to change this and make sure you write it down somewhere so that you install some other dependencies later on. Then, it will be prompting you for the username and password and for sure the host name as well. So you need to remember all of these information. So I'm just going to change it for a very easy password, not allowing. So let me go for a stronger password. Okay, seems like my password is accepted right here. Okay, now I'm not installing anything in background. I'll be doing that everything on my own. But right now I would like to click on next. Now it is asking me for the base memory. So I really recommend increasing the base memory and the number of processors as well. It will definitely speed up your CentOS, but don't worry. After this video, I'm going to tell you that how you can make the experience of CentOS better, even into the virtualization. With my setup guidelines, you'll feel like your CentOS is the primary operating system. But for now, let's just increase the memory size. So I'm just gonna go with I usually decided 40% of my total memory. This is not going to hinder my primary operating system as well, because you gotta have to take care about primary system as well. Because overall, this virtualization, this VirtualBox and CentOS is running on your primary operating system. Now I have 8 CPU power. So I'm just going to allot one more CPU. Now it is going to be 2 processors that I'm allotting to this virtualization technique. Now this has gone little advanced these days. They have recently, few months back, they have recently released a new version where you can do all of these things, and it's really amazing to give you the better experience actually. Next is what I'm going to hit now. This size, I recommend going for like 35 GB rather than 20 GB, or maybe you can go for 40 GB. The reason why I recommend using 40 GB or 35 GB of space, because I'm pretty sure that you are going to install a lot of packages once you get started with CentOS. So then, the space is going to be suffocated and you'll be receiving problem in increasing that space again and again. So let's go for a fine solution in one shot, and then use an existing virtual hard disk. Now, if you already have burnt in ISO, or you can say .vbox image, you're going to load that up right here, but we are loading it up with .iso. So we are not going to do anything right here. I'm going to click on next, and you can see, you can just review your information that you have given. So, they are making crazy interface now, and things are super easy right now. The older version of VirtualBox was not that good. Now you have machine name and everything you can review overall. Disk size and everything is right here. So now I'm going to click on finish. Now seems like all the settings are loaded up right here. Now next thing, again, I'm going to click on start. Now it is not going to start my CentOS, but yes, now I can get started with the configuration of my CentOS. So let's wait for a few seconds. It's just giving me a few prompts, and you can see our CentOS is right here. So our VirtualBox is loading up. Now again, it is giving me a prompt that virtual machine failed to boot. No worries. I'm going to load it again. So here it is, and I'm going to mount and retry the boot, and let's see if it works this time. And after waiting for some time, see, this is a quick guide that I wish to tell you that you gotta have to keep a lot of patience while installing this. So now I'm going to click on the first option, that is install CentOS. I'm going to hit enter. All right, now, so now it is prompting me for the language. I'm going to go for English, and I'm from India, so I'm going to go for English India. I'm going to hit over continue. Now, few more information. So now it has auto detected Asia Kolkata time zone. If it is not auto detected, I would really recommend you to give the exact time zone so that you don't face any kind of issues while updating this operating system. Keyboard is detected again, installation source and everything is detected right here. Installation destination is where you're getting exclamatory mark. So now you're going to go for the installation into your disk that was selected earlier for 40.35 GB. Now you can see that disk is right here automatically. It is being separated by the VirtualBox. So I'm going to click on done. And also I'm going to go for the software selection. This is a really very important part right here. It is going to show me the minimal install right now. If you won't do this, then you'll get the server edition and you'll just see the black screen right in front of you and you'll say that there is some problem with DVD. But that's not the problem actually. You need to go for the correct software selection. Now there are some different kind of categories in the software selection, like minimal install. You have different options right here. You have compute node, infrastructure server, file and print server, basic web. Now the most suitable one for me is server with GUI. Now you have all the server settings right here. You have backup servers, you have DNS server right here, email server, FTP. Now these are the happening things right here of Linux. We are going to learn all of them. So I would recommend you to tick mark on all of them, because that's the best addition you can get for all the settings you need in your life related to Linux. So you have server settings as well, and now you have GUI settings as well. So I'm gonna go get everything like MariaDB server, load balancing. See, these load balancing and all of these things were already there in Linux, getting super heated these days after cloud computing kicked in. All right, so I have selected all of these things, right? So again, I'm going to tell you that you need to do the software selection in order to get the best version of CentOS. I've taken the server with GUI. You can go for the different versions as well, but I'm comfortable with this one because I'm going to talk about DNS and FTP server and file and storage and these kind of things. So this is what I've selected. I'm going to click on done with the software selection, and it is going to take few seconds in order to check the dependencies. All right, seems like it has checked all the dependencies and now it is ready to install. So I'm going to click on begin installation. Now the installation is getting set up, but now you need to set your root password as well. Make sure you give a good password right there. So I have done the setup of root password. I'm not going to create any user because right now I'm going to go with the root user. Later on, when we'll be covering our journey for the complete Linux, I'll tell you how the users are created, and it's super easy out there because you have terminal. Some people have fear from terminal, but trust me, when you'll complete all of these series, you'll feel like, rather than going from GUI and create a new user, it's much easier to create a new user inside the terminal. So don't worry, I'm gonna make you walk through it. So I'm just fast forwarding the movie from here so that my installation can be completed. All right, so finally the installation is now completed. It took quite a while to complete the installation because we have done the tick mark on a lot of packages. I was just having some fruits because it's scorching heat in between the deserts of Rajasthan. Let me know in comment section what were you doing while you were doing the installation. So seems like it is asking me to reboot the system. So I'm just going to click on reboot. And let's wait for a few seconds and let's see. Our CentOS must be up and running in a few seconds from now. So the boot is getting loaded up, and our first prompt screen for CentOS is right in front of you. Let's wait for a few seconds more, and you can see that our initial setup is done. Just one error, the license information is not accepted. So I'm just going to click on it. I'm going to check mark I accept the license agreement, and I'm going to hit done. And now you can see that most of the things are done. User creation, we are going to do that manually inside the CentOS. You can connect to the network or you can do that from inside as well. But since you are using the virtualization, it is going to use your wired network. But yes, that's a good thing. When you just finish the configuration, make sure you just open your browser and try for the Google. The internet should be up and running. If not, then just let's go ahead and explore in a few seconds from now. So you can see CentOS is right here. Let's wait for a few more icons. And yes, here it is, English. I'm going to hit next again. The typing is going to be English, and India is also mentioned. You may use your countries likewise. Location service, as per your privacy perspective, you can just go ahead and try that. I'm just going to turn it off, and I'm going to click on next. You can set the time zone. It is going to be Kolkata, India in my case. I'm going to hit next after selecting it. I'm not going to connect my online accounts, and it is never recommended to connect your online accounts, because in case if you're giving your virtual machine to someone else, he might log into that and you might can get hacked. So I'm going to go for the Saksham as the username. I'm going to click on next. And now it's time to set the password. So I'm going to set the password. A strong password is required, else it will not accept. And then you need to click on next, and you are ready to go. Start using CentOS Linux. All right, so I can see a black screen again. I am going to wait for a few seconds more now. And I can see something happening. Okay, so now it is going to ask the GNOME for the help as per your interface. But then I'm going to close it down, and yes, you can see that fresh installation of CentOS 7 is right in front of you. Let's go ahead and check out if our internet is working. I'm going to open the Firefox, the usual browser in all the Linux machines. So let's wait for our Firefox to open up. For the very first time, the application might take some time to open up, but once you are done with setting up it all, then it wouldn't take much time. All right, now you can see that our internet is not working. In that case, let's go ahead and try to wire down our internet. So you can go into the top right. Let's go for the drop down. And here you can see that wired off is right here. You simply need to click on connect, and since it's virtualization, it is going to connect with your net adapter, but you need not to worry. We are going to discuss all about it, that what is net adapter, bridged connection, and all of these things. And when I hit refresh, then you can see that my internet is working properly right here. So that was a quick setup of CentOS, and I think my internet is also running, but this is not a good experience to run CentOS because, you know, it's a little laggy, mouse is super laggy, it is not into the full resolution, and there are a lot of tweaks that you need to do. So let's plan the next video for the tweaks and the settings that you need to do in order to run this very smoothly inside your system, exactly like your primary operating system, because that's how you're going to work in a better way. When you have a good environment, you work in a better way. So that's it for this video. Go ahead and install it inside your systems, and I'll see you into the next video.